this morning, things seem to be doing pretty well. We still got that little trade going on with APLD from yesterday. So we're going to watch a couple things today. We got APLD as a main focus. And good morning, Dean. Good morning, Sonal. Good morning, Adris and Kevin and Andres and John. Good morning, Mike. So we got that trade going with APLD. So that one's up just around $100 here at market open. I'm gonna watch there. Supermicro Computer off to an absolute ripping start. 16% gain today. Been monitoring this one, following it very closely as of recently. And we were looking for a move for them yesterday. Look at that. We were looking for a 40% potential gain on Supermicro, and we saw a 22% gain over the last day of that 42%. So we could have gone with them yesterday. That was one of our trades we were looking for. So I like that. We see them start to break out further, which is always a good sign. And they are up again 16% today. So very, very nice swing. With the APLD trade here, we got a couple things going on. So what we're going to do with this one, see them start to push up here. We're going to lock in some profit no matter what. So that's going to be right about here. Okay. And if it continues, excellent. If not, then that's okay too. We'll lock in here at just over $30. All right, so we'll have our sell stop there at 30.25. So very simple. 30.25 stop market sell. And then if it continues to rally, excellent. But now we are locked in for profit no matter what there at a previous resistance. Starting to see a potential breakout there. Supermicro Computer, as it continues to rally up that 16%, very, very good move to watch. Like this. I like this. It's starting to get rejected there at that $29 or $30 price point, which we could see a temporary volatility kick in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to play a little bit of a breakout there on Supermicro as well. Okay. It's up 16% today, which is excellent. But as we mentioned yesterday, there could be a lot more room to run. Good morning, Amari. Okay, so one of the things that we like to do generally for the long term is we like to position in companies that are essentially making all of the large businesses, making it possible for them to succeed. So think of Apple, or think of Google or Microsoft, or could be any company that is seeing a lot of success. In order for that company to succeed, what smaller companies usually exist? And that's going to be clearly here with Supermicro Computer. In order for Apple or let's say Tesla or xAI to grow, they're actually relying on Supermicro. So currently, a couple things to watch here. We'd see this big surge, again from right here at $30. That's about a 3.75%. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter in a small trade. I love that we are getting these movements kicking in here this morning. And we're going to we had some we sold on SMCX. We were up and then we sold a little bit. But we're going to go in with a little more. We're going to bet much, much bigger in a moment. But what I want to do is I want to look for this breakout here. And then we may add like, I don't know, 5 to 10K see it start to really break out. So what I'm looking for, I'm gonna have my stop loss set here around 8. Around 86, 8.6 on SMCX, 8.6. And this is kind of a test dipping my feet in the water with SMCX before potentially seeing it rally further. And we're going to look for it to continue a rally. So Supermicro Computer potentially continuing a rally above 31 into targets of 35. Okay. That's what we'll be watching today. That's kind of the main focus. And not a huge, super complicated strategy here, just simply starting to see notable recoveries in APLD, in Keel, in Supermicro. So if we're up, this is a really small trade here, but we're kind of looking for around $500 profit over the course of about a day. So we're looking for this move on APLD to continue here, just up to right around 35. I'm looking for that $35 price point, but really we're looking for 32 to 33. But now that we set our stop, we're going to be locked in. We're up to $120 profit. Now, this could be a spike at market open followed by something like a sell-off later into today. It's possible, but what our expectation was that we see recoveries on more of the AI markets, the data center markets, the quantum markets as well. Not as much on the quantum markets, but primarily in the data center markets. And we do see that kick in further today. Now, SPY is still down about 0.15%, but you got Tesla earnings today. You've got Intel, and then obviously we see Supermicro take off today. So, a couple reasons we're going to watch with stop loss here on Supermicro Computer and APLD. You got stock targets being moved today for Supermicro. They also raised their gross margin outlook, which is basically saying, hey, they're going to come in with more profits. The current target for them is up to $38 from a lot of companies. And then I think it was Needham raised their targets, which can't really see this. Maybe I gotta go to Prophecy. Might be a little bit easier here on Prophecy. They got a record backlog. We've seen that. That's excellent. Yeah. Okay. So Tesla earnings, Supermicro Computer movements happening right now. Record backlog, profitability, outlook improving for Supermicro, and low-end guidance is still looking very bullish. So for that reason, we're looking at Supermicro. So we'll be watching them again. We just got in a little bit there on SMCX. We'll be looking throughout the day. We may end up putting in around $5 to, I don't know, maybe $15,000 trade there on SMCX. If things start to continue here up above this $9 range, we're looking for targets potentially up into $20 for SMCX. So we'll be watching there. Any risk management is usually around 1% to 2%, meaning we're not willing to see this thing sell off further than that. So we'll be watching there. Mike says Intel reports earnings tomorrow, or INTC reports earnings tomorrow. Okay, got it. Be watching there. Good morning, Johnny. How are we doing today? Big, says Amari. Got it. Yeah, so Supermicro Computer leading the way. IREN is up, Keel is up, APLD is up. So we're just going to watch this little APLD trade we got going on. Again, just a little over $100 profit. We're looking for that swing up to $32, $33 a share. We'll be watching throughout the day. Again, we set our stop loss. So there's a good lesson. If you get up in the green and you want to lock in profits no matter what, setting that stop loss will make sure that you don't lose what you've already gained, right? And then, so you guarantee your profit. And then in the event that it continues to rally, excellent. We get into that potential here and we can move our stop loss up. We just reset our stop loss even higher, kind of ratchet it up to lock in profits. So that's basically the approach for today here on APLD. And we'll be watching that SMCX that we just bought into a little bit there as well. And looking forward to potentially seeing some continuations in those stocks. So why is Supermicro Computer rallying? Very simple. They're very neglected over the last few years. Their financials look excellent. Finally, they come out with more guidance that people like and targets up into that $35 to $40 to $50 range, which would really be 100%, start to become feasible. And we already see 1/5 of that taken out just today with a 20% gain on Supermicro Computer. So I've been talking about this one for a little while. We really like the play potential with this one, so we'll be watching there. And that's going to be the main focus for today. The quote for today from Earl Nightingale, from The Strangest Secret, and it says, "Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway." I love that. Good morning, Susanna. Hopefully you have a good day as well. Again, guys, we'll be watching APLD. We'll be watching, Supermicro in these moves as we see them kind of ratchet up. We also got a little trade there still on Keel that was down slightly, and we see it start to recover. But again, looking for bigger moves to continue on Supermicro and APLD today, and watching for potential breakouts here as we saw a lot of these stocks break out of their downtrend yesterday, which was exactly what we needed to get some more positive momentum in the market. So slightly more, it's been a couple weeks, but now we're slightly more jumping in, buying, with stop losses and with proper management. It's becoming around that time to kind of focus in. All right. We're already up about $20 profit over there on SMCX, so we'll be watching again. I'll cover the coffee here in Buenos Aires for so far this morning. $25 profit there. So what we'll do is, as we start to go up a little more, we may move our, our stop in to Supermicro, and we'll watch even more as it moves. Appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have an amazing day. Happy Wednesday. If you got any questions, so always feel free to email them over to me. If you want to go get Prophecy, which allowed us to enter into these trades with some of the projections, then I would encourage you, go have a look at the link. I'll drop it there. It's always helpful to get that analysis. It's going to be prophecyapp.com. Prophecyapp.com. https://prophecy.com. There we go. So if you want to go grab that, again, really helped with these trades. We got some new features rolling out in the next week, which I'm super excited about. But once again, just getting some projections, seeing some of the outlooks. is what it's all about with Prophecy. Also getting watch lists, putting together watch lists of the top markets. I would not be able to do what I do without using Prophecy. So appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.